today. It's a very sad one. My point is let's try to be very careful, very very careful. I'm seeing a tweet here, and I want to believe that it was written out of anger because the moment they are going to manage to turn it into tribal lines, it's not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice at all. And the owner of a tweet is somebody I really respect because I don't believe if a Luo or a Kikuyu or a Luya dies, you should not feel the pain. I'll never defend Luos against police brutality the day you stop being used by Raila. Right now, it's not about Raila. That's why I keep on shelving away from anybody trying to highlight Raila because we're going to lose our focus. We're really fighting a regime and a systematic problem. We're really fighting a poor governance. And in the midst of tweeting, you may tweet either out of anger or out of past scores that maybe may have passed along the way. But right now, if you turn it into tribal, we're going to lose the entire thing. People are united by one voice for the first time, and we are watching for one cause. So even as you tweet, because you're tweeting to either a blogger or anybody, some tweets can really be hurting. So that is not a very nice tweet, Mariam. But we'll rub it on. It was either out of anger because you are responding to a lie, but it's not tribal. This man going to the estates inside the houses is sickening, is the most brutal way because you didn't know that cops are going to get into the estate. You're on your balcony, you're being shot from your balcony. People have died from very weird areas. There's a video that you saw somebody being shot at the gate. So the pressure point is Ruto. It's not about tribal. And the opposition that is coming in, you've seen how much they've been rejected. Nobody's working with them. So as we are on these streets, as we're on the streets of talking, as you're on the streets of the spaces, as you're on the streets of tweeting, let's shield away from where they want to send us onto tribal. Let's stick to one voice. When you feel pain, I feel pain. When you're contributing to the course of action for the people that are hurt, we're doing it as one Kenya. We're not doing it, it's Baluya or it's Kikuyu or it's Luo. It's not right. It's below our standards. Let's keep our standards higher the way we've kept it on non-tribal, non-political, leaderless. As much as we're still leaderless, there's some people that are really campaigning for leaders. Yes, it is a need, but it's not the right time. I still say that. It's not the right time. If we were dealing with somebody that is honest and has a bit of integrity, we would actually voice for a leader at the moment so that we could have a way forward. We have a way forward, but it will take time. And if we voice for a leader right now, it's not the right time. So let's be very careful on our streets. Let's care for each other. Let's have empathy. Nobody can celebrate if Lady Justice is hurt right now. Nobody can celebrate if Dr. Love is hurt right now. It's not a sin worth looking at. God bless you guys.
Asante sana Biril for reminding us of one of the most important reasons as to why we came together. Let's not go back to the tribal lines. And let's remember that the moment there are people who even like some tribal stuff have come up in the past week, and I'm hearing the same conversation I used to hear during elections that could go like, oh, so and so will never be president. When you say things like that, the way it sounds to some people, it's just like, oh, it's coming from that hate that we already know. So let's be careful. Let's how I go about such moments is I normally say that, you know what, try and separate the person from the action, so that even if you're typing something, instead of saying, oh, I know you're just doing this, you do not know what really that person is thinking or feeling or doing at the moment. You could say, it seems like this and this since this. But let's stop personal attacks. Zalendo, and then we can go to Dr. Love, please, and then Fly High.
Thank you, Lady Justice. Can you am I audible?
Very audible. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. First, let me address the topic. Is it time for the Gen Zs and the opposition unity? In my opinion, I say a big no to that because we have seen an opposition that is undecided, an opposition that is divided, an opposition that has wars inside themselves. So these are people, if they join us, then they will destroy us. And number two, why I wouldn't support an uh, a, a juncture with this opposition is that when we join, we will form a leader. And when we have a leader, then Ruto will use one of the rules of the laws of power, law number 42, which says, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. So if we join with the opposition, we will have an umbrella. So Ruto will easily strike the umbrella to scatter the sheep. Who here the sheep will be the Gen Zs. Then I would also like to insert this, that we have seen the several deployments that Mr. Ruto has used to fight us, like hiring militia. So I would like to encourage the Gen Zs to do this. I would like the Gen Zs to do this. We know very well that removing Ruto from power is a tall order. Because this is the same man who wanted to slap Uhuru Kenyatta when after the nullification of the 2017 general election, when Uhuru told him that, oh, let us leave this thing. He said himself that he wanted to slap Uhuru. So removing this guy from power could be a tall order. But we have to make his leadership miserable. We have to make him miserable. Mpaka when it comes 2017, he can even give up vying. So we have to hold him accountable. We have to continue seeking for social justice. We have to continue seeking for good governance with every means of possible, with every drop of our blood. And then finally, I would like to say this. It was very unfortunate what happened in Kitengela yesterday night. The police actually terrorized us in our houses after we had left the demonstrations. They chased us into houses. Like I had a son who was outside, so I decided to pick a daughter, niende nimchukue. So when I met the police, one of them said that I was one of the guys who were pelting stones at them. So she said I should be arrested. So actually, my 2-year-old daughter went through a lot of terror during that moment. So she cried the whole night because of what she went through when those police were mishandling us. But I would like to encourage us. Mahali tumefika. If we leave it now, then we would have lost a lot of life and we would have fought this fight for nothing. So let us not give up. Let us keep pressing on. He, in the journey for democracy, journey for liberation is not easy. In liberation, the journey is slippery and we cannot give up now. Let us continue pushing on. Thank you.
Asante sana Mzalendo. Thank you very much for that submission. Please let's remember to follow one another on this platform. That gives us an opportunity to share our stories. As we can see, the media is now gagged, but anything somebody gets from the field, we want it to be known to the world that something is happening in Kenya, whether the media is sharing it or not. We are going to be the media until the media have their gag order, yeah, pulled out. We had Dr. Love, then Fly High. Please go ahead. 3 minutes. Dr. Love going 1. Dr. Love 2. Dr. Love 3. Looks like Fly High. It's your opportunity. Please, 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Lady Justice, and condolences to all the families that have been affected by the violence that has been meted out on us by this government. I don't see why people are being chased into the estates. The moment you start afflicting our children, you make more enemies of even people who have no enemies or who have no quarrel with the government, so to speak. You cannot come and afflict us in our estates. Unapiga tear gas usiku, watoto wanashinda wakiumia, kifua wakilia. What impression do you think those children have of the government and of the police? Wala mko ambapo kwa hizi idara na vikosi, tafadhalini, please, hata nyinyi pia kuweni na utu. Pia wewe mkipoa tuko kwa lines na masuala kama haya, what do you think would be the effect? So think about what you're doing even as you're going to do these things. It is if you kama utapambana na, even if ni kikazi, unasema ni kikazi, unapambana na watu ambao pengine ni magunza, ama hata kama ni kazi imesema upambana na Gen Zs, please stick to your whatever your, in terms of force standing order zile zina force service orders zile zinaambia vile kazi inafaa kufanywa. I don't think there's anything that is about kwenda kupambana na watu usiku. Watu wanauliwa, mtu ambaye hana hatia unamuuliza nini? Mtu anatembea kienda nyumbani unamuuliza nini? If there's no clear view kwamba kuna any sheria ambayo imekiukwa na mtu, please wacha na kusumba na watu. But Kenya is hard for all of us. Stop making it more difficult, and especially for our children. Secondly, I don't see allying with the opposition being a good idea, because the Gen Z, this movement by the Gen Z, by the millennials, is a value-based movement. It's we're not just looking to drive change at any cost, but we want change that lasts. And we've seen that the opposition have got embraced a different set of values than we do, because ultimately, when it looked like the Gen Z wamesukuma serikali, what happened is that the political class came together. Haikubaki sasa ati ni kwamba ni Ruto na sukuma peke yake, bali he reached out now even to the opposition to see that they could form some sort of strategic alliance. So at the end of the day, the opposition is not going to work in our favor. They don't have the same values that we do, and for them it's a case of political expediency. They will use us and then ditch us. And this movement has come at a great cost. Tunakumbuka kina Rex na wale ambao wameuawa katika this struggle. So we cannot betray the cause by allying with people who will leave us high and dry or use us for their own political ends. We don't have the same values. We don't even have the same objectives. You could see what Kaluma was saying yesterday when it was said kwamba there's a possibility that the ODM, when Sifuna gave out the statement about ODM not having or not wanting a seat at the government table in terms of ministerial positions, Kaluma was saying something different. Is that the person we want to ally with? Mimi kwa maoni yangu, this thing ita confuse our struggle, we will be corrupted, and that seed ya self-interest ambayo iko ndani ya hawa wanasiasa itatuinfect mpaka sisi Gen Z na this movement itasambaratika. So I propose we avoid allying with the opposition. Let them come in the individual capacity, but let them not come as the opposition. We do not want to betray the opposition. We want a value-driven change. Thank you.
Asante sana, Fly High, for some contribution there. Next, we have Easter Adrian, and then Jaden.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, Easter?
Fine, thank you. I'm so saddened this morning. My heart goes out to our heroes at Mirema, Githurai, and Zimerman. I'm so heartbroken, but I heard when she's called Northern when she was talking, and I could try and grasp some of the points that she was making, but she was also contradicting herself a bit. And personally, I've always made my voice known that I'm for the movement, no matter what. I'm not going to waver, and I just want to encourage comrades to keep strong. Whatever we are doing is working. Little by little, we are chipping off the stone slowly, and this is evident as much as what he did yesterday is between the two CSs. I don't want to go into details, but that shows he's feeling the pressure. So we shouldn't give up. But I would want everyone else to comment on some of the things I've been seeing on the timeline, which I don't understand. Like there was there was a white person that I saw on the TL who I don't know who this person was, and he was masked. Maybe someone can comment on that. And then I had one major suggestion when I was listening to us when we were saying about not wanting to do bloodshed. One of the tactics that I was thinking could help for the money that we don't need in our banks. What are your thoughts on us pulling out the disposable income in the economy that we don't need the government to be borrowing from? Because I heard the bonds they are taking, most of them are going to buying firearms that they are killing us. They are using our own money to weaponize it against us. Like if you don't need the disposable income in the economy, you can pull it out.
Oh, I think we're losing you there, Easter.
Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
that's better.
So I was saying that what are your thoughts on us pulling out the disposable income that we don't need in the banking sector, since the government is also using that to weaponize our own money against us? That's what they are using to do, to embezzle the funds that they're embezzling is still our money. So probably we can just bank the bare minimum. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. And the fact that our heroes were able to handle the people who were hired yesterday is a right move in a right direction. So I don't know what you think on that one. Kindly comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this moment, I do not know how that will look like. We might need an economist to come and show us how that will look like when we do it on the ground. Just one girl from a legal background, no economics background at all. Sorry, Easter, but if anybody in the group in the chat has in the conversation has an answer for her, please do reach out. And yes, it's noted the conversation, the advice on not shedding more blood. We gotta think of other ways. It's I know some people are pushing more and more for going to the streets, but at some point it becomes very, very difficult. And one of the people was 6,000 who said, I lost my glasses yesterday, and I wanted to have a conversation with him before he left, and I just wanted to say that, look, if you lose your glasses and you don't have a means to get them back, it takes a good Samaritan who perhaps had some money to get you those. So that good Samaritan could be a business owner who perhaps can only make that money if the running of the business is not interfered with as much. So let's and it goes back to the conversation I've been having since earlier this morning, that we cannot make everybody our enemy. If the enemy was the government and the systems that are failing us, we shouldn't let that spill to the common mwananchi who are also business owners and all that. I'm gonna move to Jaden, then what is this? Youth for Change, and then Eucalyptus.
Hi, thank you. Lady Justice, when if I talk to Matthew, you may raise your hand and I will stop. But I would like to start by talking about. I've heard someone say earlier that we should stop saying Ruto should go and start saying he should work. And immediately, like, it triggers me to notice that this guy, immediately he came in, he started negating every good thing that was there. Now, university education is unaffordable for my brothers and sisters, my siblings. They will not go to university. So he has not done anything better there. The health sector is ruined. You heard 6,000 talked about having a relative who cannot go to hospital in Bungoma. So nothing is going well. So we will keep fighting, and there is no way you can stop a revolution whose time has come. I have heard kuna millennials, kuna older generation wanasema we tried, we failed, like we don't know what will happen. But what do we do? Whether we go out to the streets, people will die, whether we go or not. If they die in silence in those hospitals that don't have funding, they don't have medicine, they will still die. And what we want for Kenya is not to continue the same way. We don't want it to be this way 30 years later when I have my own kids. 10 years from now, when someone else gets kids, they have the same problems. Education is being fucked up. Now, what next? And we have a person, first and foremost, you promised to do many things. You even said in the first 100 days, I will do A, B, C, D. You've had 2 years. There is no single thing that you've done that has gone right. Fake fertilizer, that is like you killing farmers. That's like, it's not a great thing to be happy about, because we should be moving from agriculture being the backbone of our economy to becoming manufacturers and assemblers. But you kill the source of food of our parents, of the poor people that you rode on to get to power. Your intentions were never good from the beginning. His intentions, the president, were not good. Even when he was to become a vice president, his intentions were not good. When he became a minister under the coalition government, his intentions were not good. He rejected a Katiba in 2010 that now he serves under, which he is not respecting. Not even one bit of this Katiba he has respected. The most basic. Why you can have police out to scare us, but do you really have to kill us? What kind of a coward are you that you have to kill them? Go kill them at night. A thief, a coward who does. There's a website, the Global Intelligence, which rigged that Ruto, the e-citizen money, everything that we've been doing, all these things, do what e-citizen, we have to go in digital. It's only for him to steal every single penny. Mpaka ile ya housing levy. How much money does this man want? He has everything. Leo chopa yake ilikuwa nazurura kwa anga za Nairobi. This is a crazy human being. And having that, we have learned that he's a student of Moi. You can imagine how he adored that man. So he cannot believe that we are trying to stop him from being the guy he grew up under, who he wants to, he was his God. So this is the only problem we have. We have a money thirsty, a very hungry, greedy person. And he has surrounded himself with equally greedy conmen. That's why he can fire corrupt people, then like fanya changanya changa, put back, because he is not ready to change. He doesn't want, there is no goodwill, there is no even any, he won't give us an inch. At least hata atudanganye na technocrats. Tuone ameleta watu wapya. Unasikia huyu amefutwa, akareta assistant wake, PA, sijui ex-girlfriend wake. This guy is mad. Na nasikia watu wakisema maybe huyu msee ni mwenda wazimu na hatujui. We are dealing with a mwenda wazimu. Exactly. So we have to keep going. Anga yetu hawezi kuizima. Kama tumekasirika, revolution movement imefika, tutaendelea. Akitua tumalize sawa, but people will still go. Hata kama watu watakuja hapa to discourage. At times I hear someone talking, go to their profile and look. I check what they've been talking about. Ni mtu ako kwa government, sijui kama ni mtoto wa Ruto ama ni wenye waliitwa State House wakapewa 500 per day, sijui what. So like una mtu atatuuzia uoga. Wenye wanataka kwenda wataenda, wenye wata give up ni sawa, but hii kitu itaendelea. Allies tuko nao already, si lazima wakuwe ati mrengo fulani. We want individuals who have proven that they are on the side of the people. Hata wacha wale walivote no, si wote wako on the side of the people. They did not vote no because they even knew what the finance bill was about, because we want individuals. Like nimesikia mtu ametaja Okiya Mtata. I have seen that guy. He can walk in the streets with people. He's not afraid. He doesn't even need bodyguards because he's safe, because he knows I haven't done anything. Sijaiba hata shilingi ya mtu. Those are the people we want. Those will be our allies. He's not the leader of this movement, but if I was asked in future when we have achieved our goal, Ruto has gone, I would consider, oh yeah, he's going there, yeah, no problem. But if I see a con man trying to come in, and I'm not saying con man referring to Hona Raila Odinga ni sawa, amefanya yake ama nani, earlier today I listened to another old politician in a space in a radio station, and they are making sense. But as someone said earlier, individuals, not coalitions, not political parties. They are not a political party will not be our allies. So it's in individuals, a group of people who are tired. That's it. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana, Jaden. Next was Youth for Change, and then Eucalyptus tafadhali.
Oh, hi, thank you for this opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
So first thing, like you can negotiate with Ruto, you can't have a dialogue with Ruto. Those people who used to know or have read about Hitler, that's how Ruto is. That guy would rather like he can't even he can't he can't watch like himself go down at all. He'll do everything that it takes to deal with us. So us backing like go back down, he will deal with us individually one by one. So we have to be strategic on way forward in one unity. First, like I don't know why people have not thought of like our main issue is about debt. We have been taking so many debts and we don't even know when these debts are being taken. And the debts are being taken, they are going to people's pocket. And this money is funded by the West. The West, they have representatives in this country who are those diplomats and high commissioners and all those wherever. And those people, they live in those, they are the UN embassy, those offices who are in Gigiri, those areas. And it's so sad, like we are going through such a situation in Kenya. People are dying when these diplomats, they haven't articulated issues happening in Kenya. They haven't like even called out President Ruto being corrupt. They haven't even said anything. Yet when you meet them individually, they always say, oh, Kenya is this way, the most corrupt, but they would never speak up and say like Ruto is this way. So I think the next time or any time when people are going out, they should also demonstrate in this area. Our voices have to be heard in this area. There is no way we can be demonstrating in other areas, and then the places where even the pain, kwa sababu tunaweza kuwa yes tumeenda airport but wao wako huko kwa manyumba zao, those places in Lunda, those offices, all those village market kwenye wanakuwa wamejificha. Life is normal for them. At least if at all we have to suffer as a country, then they are not suffering. Yet they are the people, they are part of our problem. Definitely before Ruto is given money and the government is given money, they are always consulted in one way or another. And they always have their kuna ile kidogo pia they are given. So for us to have a way forward and for all this movement to be felt, even them the diplomats. So the next time watu wanatokea, watu wenye wanaishi huko Rwaka na hizo side, they shouldn't forget those areas because we can't be others wanakufa Githurai when the people who, when ndio main problem, them life is normal for them in those Runda area, those UN Avenue huko, like, yeah, so thank you.
Asante sana for that submission. I'm going to ask who was here, Youth for Change, and then yule mwingine ameenda wapi? Ameanguka. Anguka nayo. Damn. Yule ameanguka nao. Okay. Youth for Change, please go ahead, and then I'm going to invite Homo Sayansi after Youth for Change.
Oh, I've already spoken.
Oh, you're the one who spoke?
Yeah.
Okay. Homo Sayansi, please speak, and then Mbugu.